Yo, what's up? What's going on? No live stream today. If you're new to this channel, I do a lot of live streams, right? However, I haven't. I'm not doing a live stream today. I need to get into more recordings. But at the end of the day, uh, yeah, all my picks, all my predictions, everything it coincides with all the pick'em sites and things of that nature, right? So I'll go over some of the plays that I like, show you a few things and things of that nature, and just get out of here, okay? Um, First and foremost, Minnesota Twins and Arizona Diamondbacks. We got an over under 8.5 in this spot. Jordan Montgomery is not my favorite pitcher. Okay, then we got Festa on the mound, one of the top prospects for Minnesota. All right. Um, Looking at some of the bats here for Minnesota, I'm playing them out. I had a few of them in my player pool over here. Now, Carlos Santana and Ryan Jefferson, Carlos Correa, those guys graded out well for me, right? Now, at the end of the day, you still got Royce Lewis, who's in the funk, Byron Buxton's and Larnix and all of these guys, right? At the end of the day, like I said, I don't know exactly what I really want to do with this game, but I couldn't talk up on these guys into a hit parlay or something like that. I like to bet hits, runs, and RBIs, so that's one of my favorite props. Going up against Jordan Montgomery, I think that these guys can, get you the top two bats was Carlos Santana and Ryan Jeffers. Those were the top two bats that popped out for me. I looked at the pitching mix and stuff like that, trying to figure out what it was, but it is what it is, right? So look at these guys for hit parlays, things of that nature. I lean towards Minnesota. It's a lean right now. It's a pick 'em. It's a lean. The line is getting fishy. I don't know if I what I want to do with that situation. Chicago Cubs at San Francisco Giants. We got an over under 7.5 in this spot. San Francisco Giants have been hitting the ball pretty okay versus lefties. I think this is the best bounce back spot for Emiliana. We got an over 7.5 in this spot. San Francisco Giants. Not too much looking at this game. Two bats that popped out for me. Not looking at this game not to back either one of these guys, either one of these teams, but two bats that kind of popped out for me was going to be, let's see. I would say I'll just point out one top bat that's going to pop out for me is one up against a lefty. It's probably going to be Eloy, right? So you could look at him for hits, runs, and RBIs all the way up to a home run. I would probably just look at him for a hit all the way up to a home run. Maybe not the hits, runs, and RBIs or something like that, just in case he has a good game. But looking at some of his splits here, Eloy, um, how do you spell his name? I'm about to spell Eloy Jimenez. Okay, not probably not a big sample size. Who knows, right? I didn't really look and see how big the sample size was, but one of his best splits that I came across right now was at home versus right hand pitching. He will strike out, right? He will strike. I mean, versus left hand pitching. Home versus left hand pitching. His strikeouts he will strike out a 27% split clip, but he probably not a big sample size, but he is batting 444 um, versus lefties at home. Just monstrous numbers in some of these splits, right? Um, slugging 778, 12, 1300 OPS, 333, isolated power, 249 WRC plus, right? You know what I'm saying? Then away, he got another split where it's on a roll versus lefties, like he just crushes shit, right? But not, and like I said, not a super big sample size, but I do know he's a big time hitter. So he's somebody that you can look at least for a hit, one of your hit parlays or something like that. If you think the numbers are inflated, but that's the guy that I was looking at. Another guy that kind of popped out to me that I probably won't go into numbers so for time's sake here, but it was uh, it was um, mm, it was Michael Bush. Okay, so you can look at those two guys at least for a hit or something like that. You can probably get a hit parlay going on with those guys. It is what it is, right? Um, let's keep it moving. Oops, I clicked on the NBA. Atlanta Braves and Chicago White Sox, and like, right, we got over under 7.5 in this spot. I thought I seen Chad Cool pitching, but right now we got to be determined right here, and just the numbers are so big right now, right here, minus 300 favors, 192. Like I can't, right? But what I did do is I took his strikeouts, I took Chris Sale's strikeouts, and I took his pitching outs over 18 and a half, right? So I took them both. Keep in mind, I bet straights. You know what I'm saying? So it's important to bet your straights. Okay. So like I say, 2024. Lately, his strikeouts, he's hit this number. He's hit this number at one, two, three, four, five, six, seven of his last 9 games. I like that. And his pitching outs, he's shown the ability to get to seven innings pretty frequently here and there. So I definitely took his seven here versus the White Sox team. White Sox team, I mean, they're just gonna have to hit me upside the head, right? So over 7.5 pitching outs. Over 18 and a half pitching outs, and I took his strikeouts. Hopefully hit them both. If he doesn't, if he hits one, then I'll go 1-1 on that prop. Okay. Didn't really look at the bats. I could have, but I didn't really look at the bats. So it is what it is, right? Um, Miami Marlins at Philadelphia Phillies here. We got an over under 8 in the spot. Um, Last night I took the Phillies at minus one, probably one minus 125. I took them on the run line. I also took um, I always also took the strikeouts at 7.5. Ooh, I think I got them at 7.5, right? So let me add this over here. So I have to run a check, right? I think I got them at 7.5. Uh, it's a strong lane. I might have got him at 6.5. Who knows? But and then I took Willis. I don't. This is a lean, right? I took Willis pitching outs at 20 and a half. It's just a lean, but at the end of the day, he definitely has been hitting it. He's shown the ability to hit it. Um, uh, he's shown the ability to hit it. He's hit this number 8 50% of the time. Reasonings because I mean WRC plus wise, this team just don't hit, just don't do make a lot of noise versus right hand pitching. As you can see, versus right hand pitching on the season, Miami 82 WRC plus with a 22% K rate. You can look at some numbers on the road. What kind of make me go to his strikeouts with some of the numbers on the road, right? On the road versus right hand pitching, 24% with a 77 WRC plus, and then last 30 days, so on and so forth. Miami, let's see, last 30 days, 6 and striking out versus right hand pitching with a 63 WRC plus. So, I went on ahead and took the stab at him, right? Um, Bats here. Now, if you just got to get to a bat on the on the Miami Marlins side, then look at the lefties, Sanchez and Sanchez and uh, Sanchez and Jazz Chisholm, right? I probably would prefer Jazz Chisholm, but it is what it is. We can take a look at the split here for Zach Wheeler. And at home versus lefties is probably where he's most vulnerable at. The K percentage is up though, 27% versus lefties, 34% versus righties. Batting average, you know what? I must have looked at some wrong numbers because he does look way more better at home versus lefties, right? He looks way more better than I thought. So he scratched that, right? Scratch that. Scratch those motherfuckers right off my list. My bad, guys, but yeah, I'm gonna scratch them off my list, man, straight up. But at the end of the day, I mean, they are professional baseball players, so they're not in my list anywhere I go. They are professional baseball players, so it is what it is, right? But like I say, bats from the Philly side here. Looking at, I'll tell you what. Long story short, all these guys look really, 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 really good, right? All these guys look really, really good. The one that stood out to me that was really, really sexy was uh, was Trey Turner, right? And you know we target Bone versus lefties, and um, you know so I'll show you my player pool, not my player pool, but how I got him in here, right? So I'm just gonna tell you, right? Bryce Harper, he's been good, he's great, he's on fire, right? Can't talk over that. He's in play. Bone is in play, right? Um, Castellanos looked good. Even Schwarber looks good, but maybe I might have to go back and look. But Trey Turner looked good, right? And sometimes you got to spread the wealth. You got to spread the wealth. I like them all, so I bet hits, runs, and RBIs. I'll be betting single betting all of them hits, runs, and RBIs. Especially, I'll be betting the top three: Bone, Harper, and Trey Turner. I've already took the over 2.5 for Trey Turner, the over 2.5 for Bone, and I'm taking a 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, and I'm throwing in a parlay, okay, for for uh, for uh, for Bryce Harper, okay. So let me keep it moving, right? So next game here, we got Texas Rangers at Baltimore Orioles. We got an over under 7.5 in this spot. John Gray's on the mound. Corbin Burns on the mound. Right now, I'm leaning towards the over strikeouts for Burns, but I did take the over 17.5 pitching outs. They're just gonna have to crack me, right? They're just gonna have to fuck me on up. So I took the 18.5 pitching outs. Right now, I don't know what I got it for. I got it for a better number than that. My reason behind that is just because this team just hasn't been hitting right hand pitching. You know what I'm saying? So, and I haven't even checked it out on the road, but they just haven't been hitting right hand pitching. And right now, Texas, 19% K rate with a 90 WRC plus on the season. Last 30 days, it started to get a little ugly. Last 30 days, Texas, especially in the WRC plus category, 20% K rate with a 62 WRC plus, right? So I just can't. You know what I'm saying? Last 14 days, um, and I've been eating on this. You guys, my people that watch me on the live stream, you already know we've been eating good off of this shit, right? Pitching outs, last 14 days, 339 plate appearances, 22% K rate, 59 WRC plus, right? So it is what it is. If I don't hit this prop, I don't hit this prop. You know what I'm saying? It's a straight bet. It is what it is. Strong lean, and I'm betting it. Okay. Now the strikeouts, I'm really, really thinking about getting there for Corbin Burns. Strikeouts is sitting at 5.5. I thought I seen that plus money, and they tempted me, right? So I don't know if I'm gonna go there or not, but I might. You know what I'm saying? Plus money, 5.5 for Corbin Burns. I don't know, right? Take a look at some of the numbers Corbin Burns have done. Some of the numbers here. Corbin Burns. Okay, so I need to add him. Oh shit, I need to add him to my player pool. I thought I just deleted my plays. I was going to say, um, let's see, Corbin Burns, right? This is a tourist outlier. They do sponsor my channel. So if you guys, if you guys want to take a look at this, take a look at this, then be my guest. But strikeouts. On the season. He's hit this number 9 of his last 16 games. It's definitely in place. Strong lean right there. And then the outs, right? His outs is 18 and a half. Lately, he's hit this number 4 of his last 5 games. The numbers point that he should hit this number. So his last 5 games, he's hit this number 4 of his last 5. Boston, Toronto, Tampa Bay, Houston, and he didn't get that versus Philly. I just think this is a. I think it's a. I think it's a. I think it's a pathway for him to get that. So I took that number there, and it is what it is, right? So there you have that. Uh, mm, so next game here we're going to talk about is going to be the. Oh, you know what? No, we're going to talk about the bats, right? So I'll just give you guys the bats. I'm gonna tell you right now. All right. So I'm gonna tell you. You guys know what I do. I go extensively on my bats and stuff like that. Okay. So. Uh, Gunnar Henderson, he's the top bat right there, right? I didn't slide O'Hearn in there. I need to get O'Hearn in there. So the top 3 bats for me would be Gunnar Henderson. I mean Westberg and O'Hearn, a good 1A, one B. I mean 2A, 2B. Um, uh, the pitch mix we have. Mm, I mean, Cowser looked good, and Santana, he's got 5 home runs. He got 15 home runs versus right hand pitching, right? So and that pitch mix, mm, so Santana popped because he does have that right hand power, but uh, O'Hearn, all right, so the ones that graded out for me well was Gunnar Henderson, O'Hearn, and Westberg, right? Gunnar Henderson, number one, Westberg, number two, and O'Hearn, 2A. The rest of these guys, Cowser, he really looked good. The rest of these guys are pretty much self explanatory, right? This team, I just put it like this. I think he's going to have a hard time navigating through this goddamn lineup. I'll tell you that shit right now. John Gray, so I think he's gonna have a hard time navigating through this lineup, man. Straight up, you know. I think that's all. That's what it all boils down to. All right. Next game here we're gonna talk about is if I'm picking a side in this one here, money line parlays, run line straights. I already took the run line for Baltimore Orioles. Okay, so it is what it is. New York Yankees, Toronto Blue Jays. We got over on the 8.5 in this spot. We got Rodon on the mound. We got Berrios on the mound. Right. So a few things I'm gonna tell you about this game right here. Um, Barrios got this crazy looking pitch mix, right? He's throwing that sinker. He's throwing two pitches. It's like he's throwing two pitches to lefties and righties. I think it's that fastball and I think it's that sinker, right? So when you want to look at that sinker, Soto, Judge, and Verdugo, all three of these guys are crushing that sinker, right? So Soto, Judge, and all three of those guys are crushing that sinker. And then when you're looking at lefties right now, historically, historically, I will tell you, historically, um, Bo Bichette and Justin Turner hit lefties well. Historically, Vlad is in my player pool right now. I like Vlad either way I go. So my top bats would be Judge, Soto, uh, Vladdy, followed by Verdugo. And I can't deny what Justin Turner is capable of versus lefty. So you can't overlook that. I just can't let you overlook that. I have to put you on notice for that one. Okay, so it is what it is. At the end of the day, that's what I'm looking at there for as far as bets. Right, don't have a side in this one here. You get good money, and whichever side you decide to go, you get a good price right now. Minus 138 for a New York team. I couldn't talk off of that. And then Toronto, you get value if you want to look at them. Okay. Next game on the docket here, we're gonna look at is going to be Cincinnati Reds and St. Louis Cardinals. And I'll tell you one thing, right? I don't have a side in this one here. It was so hard for me to look at. A couple of bats that graded out well, but I did add Contreras to my player pool because historically Contreras has been a monster versus left-hand pitching. So Wilson, is it Wilson? Or he got a brother Wilson William, whatever it was for the St. Louis Cardinals, he's in play. He's got power. He will take you deep. He has been hurt though, so you know what I'm saying. I don't even know if he's faced the lefty since he's been back, but he's facing the lefty right now. I'm looking at Contreras. Okay, um, Cleveland Guardians at Kansas City Royals. Right now, if you're looking at hits or something like that, hits, runs, and RBIs, things of that nature, I'm looking at Bobby Witt from Kansas City Royals, and then of course the top three: um, um, Naylor, uh, Quan, uh, um, Ramirez, right? I'm looking at those guys for hits, runs, and RBIs, right? Bobby Witt, you know, I'm looking at least for a hit, something like that. Hit parlay, same game parlay, something like that. Okay, just to save just to save a few, just to save some time instead of going through everything. All right. Detroit Tigers at Los Angeles Angels got an over under 8.5 in this spot. Flaherty, right? I'm looking at Flaherty here. Um, I took Flaherty. Parlay piece right here, 17 and a half pitching option sitting at a parlay piece. I like it, right? He's hit this number 10 of his last 14 games. I think he can get there. And I want to lean towards the over strikeouts. I haven't made my mind up for his strikeouts right now, but I lean towards the over. He's hit this number 9 of his last 14 games for 6.5 strikeouts, and then his over 17.5 pitching outs, which on the books would be a parlay piece. So I'll be using that in a parlay, a 2-leg or a 3-leg parlay, but I like his pitching outs right there. If you think Detroit can win this game, you could also look at the win for him. The win, you'll get a plus 120 for the win. Top bat for me is going to be top bat for me from this game is going to be Riley Green, right? Numbers checked out. That fastball, it's a match, right? Loving them versus fastballs, things of that nature. Um, he's got a hit in 15 of his last 20 games. Uh, I like him for a hit all the way up to a home run. Hits for RBIs, right? I take his over hits, runs, and RBIs at minus 135. I like him for a hit all the way up to a home run, right? Riley Green, one of my top bats on the day. Okay, so quick recap for the for the YouTube for the YouTube short. I'll just go over it right now. Take a look at take a look at the bats here, like I said, to the side in my players pool right here. Ramos, one of my top bats right there. Uh, Trey Turner, one of my top bats. Gunnar Henderson, Westberg, Ryan O'Hearn. Okay, he's just up there. Corey Seager is just self-explanatory. Vlad, Soto, Verdugo, Judge, and then Justin Turner. Wilson Contreras solely because he's going up against a lefty. All three of these guys, all four of these guys are going to play for at least a hit right here. Riley Green, Jack Flaherty, strikeouts and lean over strikeouts and over 17.5 pitching outs, and then 1.5. I'll take the 1.5 for Philly, and I took the 1.5 for damn, I forgot what team that was. Uh, Baltimore. Okay, peace.